Get out your passports because VCTV is traveling across the continent today. We're starting off in Montreal with JS Cournoyer of Real Ventures, then heading over to visit with Sara Ahmadian from Montreal, who'll be at Startup Weekend Bay Area. Welcome to episode 9 of VCTV Weekly Update. Welcome to VCTV. Hi, I'm Kristina, and I'm here for our weekly update with JS Cournoyer of Real Ventures. Hey, JS, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So Next Montreal recently featured a post from TechCrunch, and they ranked some cities from around the world in terms of startups. Canada did well. We had Toronto ranking 4th, but Montreal, our home city, ranked 25th, somewhere after Warsaw?
Right. I haven't actually looked at the details of how the rankings were made, but I think what we can take from that is, if we look back 3-4 years ago, I'm sure Montreal wouldn't have made the list. Montreal probably wouldn't have made the top 50 list. So to actually be one of the top 25 in the world to start a company, I think is a great achievement, and we should be proud of that. Now, that being said, 25 out of 25 is not a good ranking. I mean, I think we can do much better than that. And my feeling is that Montreal is on a curve. Where if you look at the startup hockey stick, and we're just at the beginning of the curve, and we're about to explode. So if they keep doing these rankings every year, I think we'll do much better in years to come. I mean, there are many really, really solid early stage companies in Montreal that are doing really well, that are not known yet, but that will become known over the next few years. So I think from that standpoint, we're in good shape. Now, what can we do? What can the community do to help increase our rankings, right? So obviously one thing that we can do that's a bit difficult here is talent. So join a startup, as an individual working for CGI, IBM, Ubisoft, all these big companies. Don't be afraid to join a growing startup. There are dozens and dozens of startups in Montreal that are looking for talent, really smart people to join and work with them. These are real jobs. They're solid jobs. They're great opportunities for individuals to grow and be part of companies that want to change the world. Do that. As a community, we need to help each other. Don't be afraid to use the products and services of other startups in the region. Don't be afraid to talk about them. I mean, what you're doing, I think, is great, wanting to learn more about the startups here in Montreal. So that's what the great communities do. So we need to do a better job of that.
Now, some of the great communities that were listed make sense. You've got Silicon Valley there, you've got Boston. Yeah. I'm also wondering about some of the cities that maybe were more of a surprise. What could they be doing? They seem to be coming out of the blue to infuse some type of talent or excitement around their startup community.
Yeah, I mean, most of the communities that you have on there are places where there's actually a lot of engineering schools. So a lot of software engineers, a lot of electrical engineers, and a lot of the schools have more advanced entrepreneurial programs or co-op programs where they get students as part of their studies to start companies. So, in Canada, the best one that does that is Waterloo. I wouldn't be surprised that Waterloo wasn't included in the Toronto region for the purpose of the study. And, there are many great companies. If you look at Vidyard, the founder of Vidyard is senior year in college, and at Waterloo University was his company. So he was actually in school starting his business and earned credits for it. None of the universities here in Montreal do that yet. So I'm sure if you were to look back at the different places, Warsaw, for example, I'm sure that there's a great engineering school there, and that a lot of the companies in the ecosystem comes from that.
We normally see that there's not enough women or girls in the engineering faculties, and that's also going to lead a bit into the startup technology world. Is there anything we could do to get the women excited about startup technology?
I'm not sure how whether engineering is something that's more interesting to men or women. Like I don't know. I think there are other ways for women to be entrepreneurs and get into the tech sector than being engineers. So, I think we have to create a startup community that is open to everyone, and whether people are engineers or whether they're designers, whether they're marketing people, and a great startup is built not just with engineers, it's built with people of all ways of life. So I'm not, people decide what they study. I think things like Code Academy and all these different startups that are trying to get people to start developing outside of school is a good way to maybe get more women into coding, into development. But I don't think that's a must to have more women in the startup scene. I mean, we have I think all of our companies have women as part of the founding team or as part of the core initial employees.
I heard that at Founder Fuel this year, there's a nice percentage of women entrepreneurs who are heading some of the businesses.
That's right, much higher than the first one, and I think we'll see a lot, more and more of that. But I'm not sure if there's something special that we need to do to increase the participation.
To get them more involved in terms of the startup sector and maybe help get the ranking in Montreal up a little bit higher next year.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason. Maybe.
So what's our goal for next year? If we did rank, where should we rank?
So I believe that, with the size of the city that we have, it's a good target to, within the next 5 years to be in the top 10. If you tell me next year, I'd like to break 20.
Excellent. So trying to get out into the world. We have also coming up in Montreal, Accelerate Montreal, which is a Silicon Valley Montreal initiative. Sure. But we have participants coming from across North America, some of the prominent idea backers. Talk to us a little bit about Accelerate Montreal. What do we expect?
Yeah, so Accelerate Montreal we ran the first event last year with BDC, Inovia, Real was involved as well. And the purpose of it's with this partnership with the C100, which is a group of Canadians. I mean, it started mostly as the Valley, so entrepreneurs, VCs, senior executives in the tech sector in the Valley that got together to help mentor Canadian entrepreneurs. So Accelerate Montreal is really about bringing Canadian entrepreneurs that have had success in the U.S. building companies to come to Montreal, meet with the local entrepreneurs, the aspiring entrepreneurs, and tell them about their story.
Well, thank you so much for bringing all these exciting people to our city. It's really going to infuse so much talent and some enthusiasm. Yeah. So we'll be looking forward to it.
Great.
Thank you so much for visiting with us again, JS. We look forward to speaking with you again soon.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, JS. Hi, welcome to VCTV. I'm Kristina, and we're so excited because we have our first on-the-ground reporter in the Bay City area, and that's Sara Ahmadian from Montreal. She's one of the mentors at the Mega Startup Weekend. Hey, Sara, how's it going?
Hey, Kristina. Pretty well. How about you?
We're doing great, thanks. Now, what's happening over there?
It's awesome. Everything is very good here. I met many interesting people from different industry, robotics, mobile application industry, and also gaming. I was surprised because I met some CEOs from big companies and also people from Microsoft, from Google, from Facebook. They were all here, and it was a really good networking for me. And I totally recommend other entrepreneurs in Montreal or Canada to come and visit and participate in this kind of event, so they can network with other people, and they can expand their business in the States or in the Bay Area.
You're definitely right, Sara. I think our startups from Montreal and Canada, in fact, should be out there more often. They could be there as participants, observers, or even as mentors like yourself.
Yeah, there are many interesting ideas here, especially in robotics, because I'm more into robotics. And there are 10 teams working on robotics project. The one that I'm mentoring, they're making something for blind people, a robot that can read objects and reports what's going on.
Excellent point, Sara. Now you're going to do a walkthrough with us, so let's go.